You're joining us from the Woods Sims home, Duran home in Plainfield, New Jersey. I'm so excited. I have my aunt Margaret, my cousin Brenda, and my cousin Doretha. And we're celebrating life. My aunt Margaret is 92 years old. She is the last daughter of Thomas and Mary Jane Little. There were 14 children in the family, and Aunt Margaret was blessed to make it 92 years. 2022, she'll be celebrating 93. So it's so excited. I'm so excited just to sit and to chat with my aunt and my cousins. My aunt is going to share some wisdom. She's going to tell us how life was. She's going to give us wisdom about how to survive with everything that we've been going through, from COVID, the economy. Life has changed so much, but we want to hear from her. There's a message that she will leave to her children, to her grandchildren, to her nieces and nephews. There's so many of us. What I will say about the Littles family, we are a big family.
Amen.
Big
Yes,
family.
we are.
There's some that I don't know, that I've never met. So for me, this is a wonderful moment to share the history and the legacy of the Littles family. And one thing I said as we were looking at pictures moments ago, I told my cousin Brenda, one thing about the Littles family, they stuck together. There was always a song. There was always a dinner, a party. It was always music. So come on the ride and enjoy this moment with us.
Amen.
It's a short moment, but you're going to enjoy about life.
About our life.
Yes.
Um, all I can say, we was wasn't a rich family.
Yes.
We didn't have a lot of rich stuff, and a lot of stuff, and a lot of things I think people now take for granted.
Yeah.
But not, because I remember we needed a moment. We moved from one place to another, and the house was bigger than what we was in, and we needed mattresses for the bed, and
It's okay.
and but they didn't have money to buy a mattress. So by Mama knowing how to sew,
Wow.
she made what you call
Yeah.
mattress.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we didn't have cotton to put in the mattress. We children had to go out in the field and gather straw.
Wow.
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 I hope I don't cry.
Well, that's a wonderful thing.
Amen.
But it shows
Yeah,
how the family has always worked with their hands.
yes,
Amen.
and how
Yes.
we survived.
Yes.
So
Cause like I said, they didn't have the money to buy a mattress,
Right.
so we had to go in the field and get the straw, bring it back to the
Wow.
house, and put it in the mattress for us to sleep on.
And
at
you
night.
slept well.
Amen.
Now, a lot of stuff people take for granted.
Right.
Not only kids, they take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably look at me now, and I'm still here, 90.
Two.
Well, whatever. 93 years old.
Wow.
Last of the family. Not only the siblings, last of the family. And it wasn't because I was so, I guess I wasn't so good. It was God's blessing. Good God's goodness. And we had to work hard. And you know, we rented a house across the street from the people that we rented from, you know. And I always would say, I don't want to be black.
Wow.
Because we black folks had to
It
work
was a struggle.
hard, you know, a lot of stuff that we didn't have. And I used to cry to my mom, I don't want to be black.
Wow.
But Mama,
Mm.
Mama would always say, well, Mom, you just as good as ever.
Man.
Yeah.
Amen.
Anyway,
Amen.
I'm just a crybaby.
Yeah, that's okay. But I remember my mother telling me a similar story. Is why I was tearing up, because she was saying the struggle
Struggle,
was
yeah,
so
we
great
had,
back there that she would always say, God, why were we born into this? Because it wasn't easy. And I guess when you see us today, what do you think about, like you said, this ungratefulness and this not working to survive? What do you think about that? Because it was so different. Your generation, the struggle is nothing like ours today. We can't even relate to it. You know, to get straw from a mattress. We've always had the things that we needed, and here it was that you had to go get straw so that your mom could make a mattress.
and not only that, it was, see, as I was raised in the South.
Yeah. What city was that?
Why?
Wadesboro?
Waysboro, what's the Waysboro? And what I didn't say.
And not only did you, it wasn't just the straw. It was other things.
You lived in the South.
You lived in the South.
Lived in in a lot of places we couldn't go. You know, because they would have a sign up there. No color.
Yeah. You were doing the Jim Crow laws where
no color.
this was before Martin Luther King and any of the others.
Oh, yes.
It was before that. And the people, we couldn't go in. It's a lot of people, but I had good parents.
Man.
Cause if you went to a doctor, I had a rash or something.
Mm.
I think it was a rash, and Papa had to take me to this doctor. He made an appointment. When we got there, we couldn't even go inside.
Wow.
We had to sit outside under the tree.
Mm.
And that was until the doctor had a break, or what do you call it, you know, and he would come out. He came out
Outside.
under the tree and treated me with that rash.
So you never got to go in the doctor's office?
No, we didn't.
You didn't
better
go
not
inside?
go in there.
Yeah.
No, we didn't go in. But what was so great with my father, he didn't act like he was mad, because he just sitting under the tree singing.
Wow.
Yeah, and he didn't say, well, you know, be fussing or what.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sat under the tree until the doctor had a break to come out under the tree, because we couldn't even go.
Wow.
Couldn't. Well.
Wow.
You know, backtracking to what you said about having to go out and get straw for grandma to make mattresses, that built in you all a work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you all have passed that on to us.
Amen.
To your siblings.
Yes.
So it was like, you said Papa wasn't mad, Papa just sat there. It was like, it is what it is, but we're going to make do.
Right.
And we're going to live. And we're going to do
And that's beautiful.
do the best that we can in this situation.
Right.
So thank God, you know, I know it was hard for you all, but thank God that you had good parents. You had Papa, you had Grandma, and who said, like Mama, Grandma told you, you're just as good as anybody else.
Right.
Amen.
So we're gonna, don't feel bad. So that's something that's in the woods,
Yes.
in the little family,
In the blood.
in the bloodline.
Blood.
All of the children, all of the children worked. All of the children pressed and moved on. You raised, after my father died, you raised 4 children, but you kept going and
Right.
did what you had to do to survive.
Amen.
Because this is what it is. This is the state we're in.
Absolutely.
And like you said, God has, offline you were saying how you had it hard, but God was with you.
Yeah.
Amen.
And so
And that's what I call a survivor.
Survivor.
And that you didn't give up.
Yes.
And now you
persevere.
kept fighting. And to move on and teach your children, as you mentioned, single woman with 4 children. Husband died when your children were young.
Yeah.
But everybody succeeded.
Yes.
Everybody did something with their hands, with their life,
Right.
because of a strong mother.
Right.
And that passed on to the family, even though I might not told all
Right.
this story all the time to them, but they saw that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give up.
Yeah.
We didn't give
Yeah.
up.
But Margaret, let me say this. To hear the story today, it does something that you
Could I
wouldn't,
have a
you
little
can't imagine.
tissue?
To hear the story today does something for me. Like there are no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
No excuses.
There are no excuses, and I will be able to tell that story to my nieces and nephews, my grandchildren to come, that this is what you've come from.
Amen.
And I think when they don't know how hard the family fought for survival, it's easy to just slip and live like everybody else. But when you hear this, it reminds you, look, we come from something great.
Amen.
And not only that, like you say, you went through it. Now you didn't go through it,
Right.
but somebody in your family
Family, yeah.
went through it, and they still didn't give up.
Still didn't give up.
And this not giving up spirit is in my kids.
Yeah.
It in y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
In the grandkids.
That's good.
Right. This is why Shanice,
Can be so successful.
well, I'm here. I'm just saying, Shanice.
Mm-hmm.
All of y'all, you don't give up because it's in your
It's
genes.
I just the poem just stuck in my mind by Langston, I think. Life for me ain't been no crystal stairs. It's been rough. It's been some tax. But don't I've been pressing on.
Yes.
So don't you dare stop.
Don't stop.
So,
Right.
so that's good.
And it's wonderful to hear. It really is. It's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And God has spared me to be here. 92.
Two.
Yeah.
You're headed towards 93.
Yeah, I'm headed towards 93.
By the grace of God.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're looking very good.
Amen. Amen.
And even though I can't walk that good, I have to push that my,
You
whatever.
walking with that?
But I'm still here.
Yeah.
Still here.
And I got my mind. I know who I am.
Yes, that's a
Yeah,
blessing.
That's the best.
And Brenda and them, they're here. They cook. And I don't want to cook.
Mhm.
Yeah. They cook and I can feed myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Shanice, she washed and put my clothes on. But
To
I'm
God be the
blessed.
glory.
I'm a
Amen.
blessed
To
woman.
And
God
it
be the
shows.
glory.
Yeah, I'm a blessed woman. And y'all are, you don't have to read about history of, what was that woman's name? Black woman.
It's Harriet Tubman.
Harriet
Sojourner
Tubman.
Truth.
Sojourner Truth.
Yeah, and King and
Yeah.
Dr. King.
you in the family.
Yeah.
of
Amen.
great people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. That
Yeah,
sometimes
Yeah.
we think our history is in a book. While we celebrate history as a black people, I think we have to bring it home
Yeah.
and know that just as Dr. King, just as Sojourner Truth, God has allowed greatness to go from generation to generation. And these are the stories we need to hear.
Right.
So we can be reminded that, you know what, we're just as successful and great, because success is not always money. We look at it as money, as how big the house is, as what you drive, but that's not what makes success.
That's right.
You survive one of the worst times
Amen.
in American history, along with slavery, how it endured, with the Jim Crow laws.
Right.
And to be still successful, still were able to raise your children, even when you're told you can't, get in the back, do this, you can't work here, you can't do this. But to see that you all just succeeded in so many ways, even with your music. People don't know how great the Little Sisters
Amen.
are and were.
Amen.
And they sang before great men and women.
True.
The talent and such, the family.
Amen.
Piano players, soloists, singers, writers,
Amen.
producers, Grammy Award winners.
That's it.
We have a history that needs to be told,
Amen.
and it stems from the very
The
beginning
very beginning.
Amen.
that we know, as far as we can go,
Amen.
that beginning. So it's good to hear. Any of you want to say anything?
Amen. I
And could I
wanted
say
to.
something
Sure.
before you say yours? And we have to appreciate the greatness. It's good to appreciate Dr. Martin Luther King. And all that.
Amen.
It's good to appreciate that.
That's right.
But we are, I'm not talking about me.
I understand.
Appreciate the greatness among us.
And how would you say we should do that?
Yes.
Amen.
How should we do that?
You should appreciate that your Aunt Margaret is still here.
Yes.
92.
Come and see her.
Yeah, those are some
come
actions.
and see her.
Those are some actions. How do you show? How do that I appreciate you?
Yes.
Amen.
What do I do?
And that's a good question, because that's what keeps a family together. I told you before the topic was why families fall apart,
Right.
or why families separate.
Wow.
Because of these little things, I have to show up.
Yes.
You're my only aunt. I tell all the time, I tell my mother would be upset with me if I didn't show up. Why? Because it's inbred. I have to do what I saw her do.
Right.
I didn't see her hanging on a corner drinking or selling herself. I saw her doing great things. So
Amen.
I have to do what I saw her. I saw her visiting her siblings. I saw her giving. So we've got to continue in that vein.
Amen.
Continue that legacy.
Amen.
And that's how a legacy continue. Like you said, hey, I'm your last aunt, you said. Show up. Family, show up.
Amen.
Let's show up while they're
Amen.
still here.
Amen. And appreciate one another.
Appreciate one another.
And like you visit Auntie, but Auntie check on y'all as well.
Yeah.
We check on each
Yes,
other
we do.
and tell each other
Right.
that you're great.
We do.
And I put down, Mama said they didn't have things, but they were rich.
Yes.
They were rich in love,
In love.
joy, peace.
Yeah.
They loved people. They did for people. I remember Papa killing a hog when I was a little girl, killing a hog, and Grandma saying, "Go take this to Miss Sally or Miss Sue." Even though she got 14 children, and some of us was there,
Right. Grandkids were there too. Yeah.
but she always had and looked out for other people. And so that's a message for us.
Right. And I think that's amazing, though, and I want to stop right there. I think that's amazing how what's in you follows. I never understood why my mother gave everything away. We would get so angry. Mom, you got to keep some for yourself. But it's what she saw, it's what she lived. It's in her veins. It's what she saw her mother do.
Right.
Is what all the siblings
Do.
have done.
Have done.
and it's what the grandkids do, and I want the great grandkids to continue
Yes.
in that same, but they got to know this is what success, and this is how they got blessed. My mother would always say that, Carol, I'm blessed because I gave it all away. I didn't
She
keep
give.
it.
Yeah.
That's why God blessed me.
Mhm.
And I think when we learn that lesson
Right.
and that legacy,
Mhm.
learn the lesson and know this is us.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And we have greatness among us.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah, that's good.
I believe
That's good.
I believe
Yeah.
we'll live better and we'll do
We
better.
do. Right.
You know, we've made it so to speak, but our children, we want our seed.
Yes.
I want my grands, I want my great grands to succeed. And part of success, I learned this, it's not only having a talent looking good,
Yeah.
but what's inside of you determines also your greatness.
And I have a great, your granddaughter that I talks to me.
You have great
A great great granddaughter.
Mhm.
When she comes over here, she sits down and I talk to her,
That's important.
and we talk.
That's important.
Mhm.
And she talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Greatness is also standing on the shoulders of
Mhm.
others. We're standing on the shoulders of not only my mother, my grandmother, but we are standing on the shoulders of Dr. King,
We are.
Malcolm X. We're standing,
Examples.
Yeah.
Sir Janet True. And
Because
these
they
are
have
we.
done it.
Yeah.
Their examples, your example,
Yes.
we are
We're
examples.
all-
We'll always stand on the shoulders. We'll always look to somebody
Yeah.
to be encouraged to be better.
And I think, cousin, if we remember that we all have a role to play.
Mhm.
They did for us
Mhm.
what they did, and God, thank God that they did it. But we
Mhm.
all have a role to play.
And
Nobody could be King. Nobody could be Malcolm X.
Right.
Nobody could be Michelle or Barack Obama.
No.
Nobody could be Oprah.
Right.
But as a people, we
As a
all
people.
have a role
To play.
to play and to teach,
Mhm.
to be that example, to teach. And that's what success is.
That's what
And
you
teaching
And
is
that's what-
by teaching is by example.
by
Yeah.
example.
It's example. It's not so much as do like I say,
Yeah.
do as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That's
So
true.
I want to show my love to my family.
Mhm.
I want to every now and then send a text
Yeah.
and say, "How are you doing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You came across my mind. How are you doing?"
Mhm.
Oh, like my sister, she does. She's good on the phone.
Right.
She's good for calling.
Mm-hmm.
These are things of. These are ways we show that I appreciate you.
Yeah.